Welcome back. For this video, we will talk about control instructions for programming. This section of the course mainly explains the programming control instruction of the JAKA app. There are mainly the following parts. 1. Coordinates and tool-related instructions. 2. Load settings instruction. 3. Waiting instruction. 4. Cycle or loop instruction. 5. The main program call instruction. The duration of this course is about 10 minutes. The course objective is to understand the control instruction and be able to use them proficiently. 1. Coordinate system instructions. The first function is the instruction to modify the coordinate system in the program. There are two commands for setting TCP in the program. The first one can manually input the new TCP. The second one can select the TCP established in a settings, manually input the TCP and click the Set TCP icon to enter the tool coordinate system editing interface. In this coordinate system, you can manually input the parameters of the coordinate system and select the TCP command. Click the TCP drop-down list. You can select the end flange center in the list, or the 10th TCP set in the settings. Create a tool coordinate system in a program or set the tool coordinate system established in a setting. After setting TCP, the position of the moon point in the Cartesian coordinate will change accordingly. Set the user coordinate system in the program. There are two types as the previous function. Manually enter the user coordinate and click to set it. The user coordinate system editing interface will pop up, where you can manually enter the user coordinate system parameters. Click the drop-down list to select the user coordinate system. You can select the world coordinates or the user coordinate system established in a setting. The movement point position of the coordinate will change accordingly. 2. Payload setting. Modify the load and center of mass in the program. This instruction can modify the end load and the center of mass during the running of the program. You can manually input the load and center of mass at the end attached to the robot, or you can drag inside a digital variable. Set application scenario for complex instructions. When the load changes during the running of our program, we need to use the instruction to set the load. When the load set during operation does not match the actual load, there may be vibrate or collision warning during operation. In real applications, if the load of the product itself is very small, for example only 100 or 200 grams, can be ignored. We cannot use the instruction to set the load. If the weight of the product itself is relatively heavy, for example 2 or 3 kilograms, when the product is clamped by the jaw in the program, the load of the mechanical end will undergo a large change. At this time, we need to use the load setting instruction to tell the robot that the end load has changed. When we put down the product, the load on our hand will become smaller at this time. So we also need to use the load setting instruction to tell the machine a current load and a position of the center of mass. 3. Waiting for instructions. Click on the control instruction bar, and you can see two waiting instructions as shown in a figure on the extended page. The first one is to wait for a specific time. After entering the waiting time, the program will continue to run after waiting for the input time during runtime instructions. The second is to wait for a specific condition. You can fill in a specific judgment condition in the check-in box. When the instruction is executed, it will continue to wait in advance, and the program will continue to run until the condition is met. The usage method is as follows. First, you can wait for a specific digital input signal, and second, you can also wait for the logic judgment condition. 4. Introduction to loops and judgment instructions. The basic loop. The instruction is always looped, and the program will execute the command contained in the instruction loop. It will not end until the end of the loop instruction. Loop a specific number of times. You can either enter a number of times you want to repeat the loop, or use a variable for optimized programming instructions. If the conditions are met and the loop is executed, the program will judge after running the instruction. When the judgment condition in the space is met, the instruction contained in the loop will be executed. Until the condition is not met or the operation ends, the loop instruction will end the loop. End the loop. This function terminates the loop closest to the instruction when a specific condition is met. Generally, a judgment condition is added to the program, and the current loop is terminated immediately when the condition is satisfied. As shown in the example on the right, the action is executed in a loop. If the condition to the end loop is not satisfied, the action A, B, C, D is executed in a loop. When the end loop condition is met, the action A, B is executed, and then the current loop is ended. The program automatically terminates without subsequent instructions. Skip this cycle. Function, when a specific condition is made, terminates the loop closest to this instruction. Add a judgment condition before this instruction. And if the condition is satisfied, skip this loop and return to the beginning of the loop to continue executing the loop. As shown in the example on the right, the action A, B, C, D is executed in a loop. If the condition of skipping this loop is established, the action A, B is executed when the loop, and then the action C, D is skipped. Judgment instructions. If is a true command. If the condition is satisfied, the content inside the command frame is executed. As shown in the command on the right, if the condition is satisfied, the action A, B, C is executed. If the condition is not established, only the action A is executed. If true, otherwise command. If the conditions are met, execute the upper half of the procedure within the framework. Otherwise, execute the lower half of the procedures. As shown in the example on the right, if the condition is satisfied, the action A, B, D is executed. If the condition is not satisfied, the action A, C, D is executed. 5. Call main program instruction. Click the drop-down list on this subcommand. We can see that we can select the program we have written in a drop-down list. Its function, when the program runs the instruction, it will jump from the current program to the selected main program and run from the very beginning of the main program. When the called main program ends, it will automatically return to the current main program. On this example shown on the right, the program executes action A, B, and then calls the instruction called by main program. After the main program calls the command, the action C, D will be executed. The all programs run the action in order A, B, E, F, C, D. This is the end of this lesson. Thank you for watching.